Okay, so first and foremost, you want to launch your InDesign. And so here you can see that I've launched my Adobe InDesign. Unfortunately, you can't see my menu. I'm on a Mac, but if I do click down on File, you can say that you could go to File, New, and click on Document if you want to create a new document that way. There's another way here. If you go to Home when you launch it, you can click on Letter, and that'll give you an 8.5 by 11 letter size document. Next, you want to go to Save It. So File, Save, give it a name. I'm going to name this Puzzle with my last name, Cordova. Now I've downloaded and I've created the puzzle pieces, so I'm going to put it in with my puzzle pieces that I've got from the assignment area. And I'm going to just add my name to it. Although your name is included in your submission area, it's always a good idea to add your last name to that. I'm going to go ahead and say Save, and I'm going to replace it because I've already done this. As my microphone wasn't working prior to that. So next step is you want to go up to File, and again, you can't see it because it's on Mac, but I'm going to go ahead and click File, Place, and that's going to open my puzzle pieces because that's where I went last time. If it doesn't automatically select it, which it won't, you need to go out and find or point to that area where you have your puzzle pieces or the folder where it's located. I'm going to click, so you can place these one at a time or you can select all of them at once. It'll load it into your cursor. And that's what I'm going to do here. So again, one at a time, or you can select all of them at once. And I'm going to do a click on the top and then use my shift to click all of them to the bottom of 9. There's 9 pieces. You can see there that it's loaded my cursor with 9 images, and you can see the little number 9 right next to the image icon. Those are loaded into my cursor, so now I can click and drag and place them. It's a good idea to use your ruler. You can, I didn't do it in this instance, but you can use your ruler to kind of make some lines there and keep everything kind of even. You'll see that I have a bounding box around those, but I'm just going to go ahead and place them. That blue box there is the bounding box, and the image is inside, as you can see. I think I was holding down Shift. If I don't hold down Shift and just lay it out, it'll let me kind of do my own size of everything, so I can continue just laying those out. As you can see, when I do click and drag, as you'll see in a minute, you'll get those little arrows there, the little green arrows that'll allow you to know that you're kind of getting close to the size that you need on those. And I'm just placing them there. I'm not really concerned right now about, putting them all even. But again, these bounding boxes, you can make them smaller around your image. But that bounding box has nothing to do with the image itself. You can see I can stretch that blue bounding box out. That's really just the container for your image inside. If I double click, you can kind of grab that image itself, and then you can resize that if you want. But there's a better way, and I just wanted to demonstrate that if you do resize that image, you can't even see the whole thing, but you can see that that brown box is the image, and that bounding box is just the container. So you can resize that blue box at any time, but your image will still be not visible if you do it the same size. Hopefully that makes sense. Again, click it inside. So the best thing to do is go to Fitting and fit content proportionally inside of your container. Okay, and then you could kind of resize your little box if you wanted to. So I'm going to do the same to all of these. I'm going to make it kind of the same size as that other box. And I could just place it over it and try to make it the same size. Use that as a little guide. And I'm not going to worry about the image inside. I'm just going to make those all the same size. And again, not worry about the image yet, because I'm going to go back and use the fitting tool for that. Again, fitting, fill content proportionally, or fit. You could do fit content into frame. There's many other things you can do there. But I'm using the fit content proportionally. You can see that there it's starting to kind of get together a little bit. And one note that I'm going to say is that I'm actually in a workspace called Essential Classics. If you look at the very top there, Essentials Classic is located on the right hand side and will allow you to choose a workspace. And so it's important to be in that Essentials Classic because it'll give you access to other tools at the very top, which you may not be able to see in the layout that you're at right now. So again, I'm just making these the same size and kind of putting them together there. Again, those little like green lines will allow you to kind of make everything the same. Once you see them, you just kind of snaps into place and then let go. And now I'll go back in and do fitting, fit content proportionally on each of these. You could do content aware, fit frame to content, fit content to frame, which is a good one as well. You can try all of them, experiment with what you feel you can do. I find that fit content proportionally usually works, but again, you could always try the other fit content to frame. You could always nudge them too with your up and down arrow to close any little gaps that may be there. I've selected all of them by clicking and dragging around the entire image itself, and then I'm going to right click and group. That way I can move everything as one instead of doing one piece at a time. Next, I'm going to put in a tool or a text using the type tool. That's the best way to do it, is using the type tool. So type tool, click and drag to create a space for your text where you want it. With that selected, you could also place your text anywhere else. It's already loaded as far as the tool text is concerned. So again, this is where I mentioned that you've got other workspaces, and if you're not seeing your tools up above or your text information, you can go there and use Essentials Classic. And then put your cursor inside. Once it's blinking, you're ready to type. Up above there, it'll tell you the name of the character name, the size of your text. I'm going to make that a little bit larger, maybe a 30, but I think I make it even larger than that. And then you could start typing in Golden Gate Bridge, San Francisco. I hit the return, San Francisco. And then at the bottom, you can type in, puzzle created by or by Alex Cordova. Put your name down at the bottom there. I'm going to put in puzzle completed by. Again, if you actually click 3 times inside of that bounding box or inside of where your text box is. It'll select the entire text. You need to have it selected in order to change the size, or you can click and drag, select it, and change the size that way. Either way, you need to be inside of that bounding box and select what's inside. You can see that I do have a little bit of gap there. It's very minimal, and you'd get an A, even though that, you know, it doesn't have to be perfect, but you know, sometimes you do have a little bit of gap in there. And what I'm doing here is just putting in fit content to frame, and that seems to be taking care of that little bit. You could also, again, use, right now we're actually viewing it in normal view, which you can see the margins of the page. But if you go to click at the bottom there and click on preview mode, it'll let you know or see what it's going to look like in real life here when you export it out. You can see that I have a little bit of a gap at the very top there. And if you want to be perfect, you can nudge it up a little bit, or again, try the fit content proportionally, or actually fit content to frame. It's still not doing it because there is a little bit of a gap there. You can also nudge it up with your right or your arrow. So you select it and nudge it up a little bit. It's still there, but again, you can click it and use your arrows. So right now it's grouped. Remember that. If you want to select one of the boxes, you need to double click inside. It's clicking once, clicking twice. And I'm just going to nudge these up with my arrow keys on my keyboard. There it is. Oh, double click, nudge it up. There, it closed the back gaps, and that looks pretty good. It's ready to go. Last step is to save it and then export it out as a PDF. I'm just making some last minute adjustments there, but I want to export it, and it's really important to export it as a PDF. It's going to give me the format at the bottom of the dialog box here in export. I checked use InDesign document, which will give me the same name as the InDesign document on my PDF. I'm going to click save. It's not going to override the InDesign file. I'll always be able to revert to that, and I'm going to replace because I've already got one in there. Next, it brings up this little dialog box, which going over it quickly allows you to select, if you want to select all pages or a range of pages. It'll allow you to view after exporting, so it'll allow you to view that PDF, and it's important to do that, so I leave that checked. I also leave on optimize for fast web viewing so that I'm able to see that a little bit faster on the web. And nothing else needs to be included yet. We don't have any hyperlinks or bookmarks or anything that's interactive right now. Going over just the compression a little bit, this is press quality, which is a preset, and this is 300 pixels per inch, which is the highest quality that you can get for print quality. So everything is good there. You'll notice here you could have the highest quality or the smallest file quality, which is for web. It'll make it smaller, but right now, since it's a small document, it can be left at press quality. I'm going to export that, and you see that it really quickly lets me view that in PDF in my InDesign or my Adobe Acrobat. And it's good to go. This is what you want to upload. Make sure you upload into your assignment area. And that's about it. Hopefully this helps out. Make sure you save your work